my tip to you to make an espresso martini at home. All the bartenders are going to say, Cameron, absolutely no chance. What kind of amateur stuff is this? But believe me, between me and you, we leave all the pretentious stuff to one side. This works brilliant. And as a secret, this is the exact same thing I used to do at bottomless brunch. You know, how do you think bottomless brunch bartenders get out like 60 espresso martinis an hour? They're not shaking non-stop. This is what they do. Build your cocktail as you would, no ice, right? Chill it in the fridge, get it nice and cold, pour it into a blender, blend it. You can use a hand blender, one of those little ones that people use for coffee, or just like a proper blender. Throughout my time as a bartender and my time within the industry, I've seen a lot of badly made espresso martinis, and usually people have the same issues, which I'm going to assume you have too. So hopefully this is your quick fix for your terrible espresso martinis. But the big secret is texture. Okay, it's mouthfeel. I know that sounds a little bit pretentious, but people who make espresso martinis badly is usually down to the mouthfeel, because bartenders are not using high class ingredients. I've just done a video on why vodka is a scam, so do not come to me with the fact that you use cheap vodka, because cheap vodka is perfectly fine for an espresso martini. You don't need to use expensive vodka, it's not going to change it. People come to me and say, well, maybe it's the coffee liqueur. Bars are using the cheapest ones possible. They want to make as much money as they possibly can. A lot of people say maybe it's the coffee then. It's got to be the coffee, a big coffee machine. We're going to come back to this, but trust me, it's not the coffee, it's not the sugar syrup, it's not the vodka, it's the mouthfeel. You can make a very good espresso martini with instant coffee. In fact, I've worked in bars that have no coffee machine, and I used to prep instant coffee for the espresso martinis, and people used to say, wow, so brilliant, so good, so great, so delicious. So you can do it. You can make it with decaf instant coffee. It's still going to work. Yes, good coffee is going to impact the end flavour, and a freshly pulled espresso from a coffee machine is going to be filled with CO2 and crema and all this like beautiful stuff that's going to make your espresso martini pillowy and soft and fluffy. However, you can still replicate that with instant coffee. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to get, if you've got a bean to cup, no excuse, because you just pour espresso and you're done. If you've got a pod coffee, no excuse, pod coffee machine, because you just click espresso and you're done. Yes, it's not the same quality as you're getting at like a Costa Coffee or a Starbucks, but it's enough to make a good espresso martini, believe me. This is just for the people who want to make it out of instant coffee. You're going to get your instant coffee and you're going to put in like 3 tablespoons. However you make a coffee with instant coffee, that's what you're going to do. But this time with the water, you're only going to put in like a quarter of the amount of water. So what I do is I do 1 tablespoon of coffee to 2 shots of hot water. But it honestly doesn't matter. What I'm trying to get across is you're just going to make a super strong coffee, not a weak one. Super strong coffee, that's it. Okay, let it cool completely, because now we get into the real secret, the mouthfeel. The reason your espresso martini sucks is because it's not frothy. What makes espresso martini taste so good is that it's just filled with like little air pockets that make it super light. It's why when you go to a bar you've got this big foam on top, but at home it's flat. It's why when you drink it in a bar it feels like light and airy, but when you're at home it feels like heavy and syrupy and what's worse, watery. This is what you want to avoid. This creates the flavour. The fact is, you're making it with the exact same ingredients, it tastes the same. You might be a couple of millimeters off, or a couple of milliliters off with your ingredients. It's not going to change the flavour. Don't let that kind of pretentious attitude consume you. The reason it tastes bad is because you're not getting that light airiness. That's all it is, which is great news, right? Great news. So here's how to get that light airiness. 1, don't over dilute your cocktail. Don't use hot coffee because it's going to melt the ice. And when you are using ice, don't be shaking it. For one thing home bartenders do that professional bartenders don't is home bartenders always shake cocktails for so damn long because they really want to get it frothy. They overshake it, all the ice dilutes, and you get a watery drink. We do not want watery espresso martinis. They also don't use enough ice in the shaker, which makes the ice dilute faster, which makes a watery cocktail. You're going to get a cocktail shaker, or a jar, or a coffee cup, or whatever it is you want to make your espresso martini in. Fill it to the top with ice, then put your ingredients in, shake it quick, fast and short, and pour it out. Boom. That's it.